Good evening, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Ladies' Diary. Tonight feels a little different and intentionally so. In honor of Women's History Month, we are stepping slightly outside our usual format because sometimes the moment calls for reflection instead of reaction, depth instead of debate. So, this month is about the women who came before us, the voices that refused to stay quiet, the strength that didn't always look loud but was unshakable all the time. And I don't just mean the famous names in textbooks, I mean the mothers and the grandmothers. The women who held families together in silence, the ones who worked, endured, survived, rebuilt, and still found a way to stand tall. So tonight, we're going to center that energy, okay? We're going to talk about confidence, about identity, and about the quiet fire that lives in women who have been told to shrink and decided not to. We're going to explore what it means to take up space, not aggressively, not apologetically, but fully. This isn't about comparison. It isn't about perfection. It's about presence. And hey, instead of starting with the letter tonight, we're going to begin with words that have given strength to women across generations. We won't read the entire piece, you two. We'll move through a few moments from it and allow them to have an open conversation because the power isn't just in the writing, it's in what it stirs inside of us. I have faith this panel will recognize it, and I have faith that each of you will find something personal in it. So settle in, breathe, and let's have a conversation tonight that honors where we've been, who we are, and who we're still becoming. Now, before we bring the rest of our incredible panel up tonight, I want to acknowledge the woman who helps hold the heartbeat of this space steady every single month. Y'all, she brings the wisdom, she brings grounding, and she brings that steady strength that reminds us we don't have to be loud to be powerful. And we call it lemonade. When I say we've built this show with intention, she is a huge part of that intention. So please help me welcome our one and only Mama Lions. There she is.
I love that introduction.
Yeah. I have to give you your props, lady.
You always do. Well, thank you. Thank you. This is a day where I actually needed that.
Yes, good. Well, good. Then you'll need this too, because I just want to say thank you for walking this journey with me and for helping us, the Iron Sharpening Iron universe, create a space where women can speak freely, reflect honestly and grow together. And to get that underway, I just want to say thank you. You're amazing.
My pleasure. Thank you. I love working with you, boss.
I'm so glad because I love being here with you.
Awesome.
What do you say, though? We have some beautiful ladies back there that we really just need to bring up here on this stage and get this conversation started. What do you think?
Get it cracking.
Are you ready? Let's do it.
All right.
That one's got a long pause at the end, apparently. Hello, ladies. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You. All right. Now, Mama Lions, could you please do the pleasure of helping us introduce these beautiful women?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. In no specific order, they're both pretty amazing, but I'm going to start with Dr. Giovanna Warney. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then obviously we're going to hear from Jackie Wheeler and Jackie Style.
Yes, well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on this evening, and it's a pleasure to be here. I am Dr. Giovanna Graves Warney. I am the owner and director of Sagebrush Counseling and Addiction Services, PLLC. We are a telehealth organization based there and throughout the state of Arizona. So, a little bit about me in that way, and I work with and enjoy working with the tribal community, with the BIPOC community, substance abuse, alcohol addiction, mental health. That's the area that we focus on. So, not to belabor anything, but thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to this evening and what our topic is going to be. And I'm here and ready to go.
All
Turn it
right.
back over to you, Mama Lions.
Thank you. Thank you. Jackie.
Hi. Well, mine is wow, that was a lot. I'm so excited to have get to chat with her later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jackie Wheeler. I own Jackie Style Image and Branding Agency, and I help women show up authentically through their style image, personal style image and brand. And it's lighthearted fun, and my whole thing is about being authentic and being you within your style. So that's me.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's wonderful. All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Well, so what I want to do tonight is kind of simple. I have a poem that I have held close to my heart growing up and throughout my life. It's one that I'm pretty sure every woman here tonight will recognize. And I think it's actually perfect for our message tonight. Now, I can't exactly read the whole poem, because YouTube has issues with copyright, but I do have some really key excerpts, and I really think you'll recognize them and have a good time. What I really just want is for you to tell me when you hear that, when you've heard that, what does it make you feel? What is your perspective on that particular part of the poem? Okay, because I know lots of women. We have to remember you have to go through it to get through it. So I think that women will understand why I chose this instead of a letter. So if it's okay now, I will go ahead and start with our first excerpt. And this one is for recognition, but the rest are more for conversation. I want to know what you think our poet means while holding her head up and writing such a powerful poem for all women, young and old. Okay. So the first is uh, pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model's size. I think we know which poem this one is from. Of course, our very beloved and missed Maya Angelou. And I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else, but I can say that this poem I heard when I was very young. And it was told to me by my grandmother, which she partially raised me. So I spent a lot of time with her. And that felt to me like one of those benchmark points where I kind of grew up a little bit after I heard that, even just that first line. So I'm going to start with the second excerpt. And if you wouldn't mind, please just, we're no ceremony here, okay? Just go ahead and just have this conversation and just enjoy the way this makes you feel. So here's the second excerpt. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. That one just gets me.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyone is allowed to go first. We're not, let the floodgates open. What does that make
Oh,
you feel?
I love that so much. That poem just it means so much to me, especially as a woman who's in the image industry and having to really I get to stand in the closet with women who get really upset with their bodies. And who they are, again, that whole authenticity, like this is who you are. It's okay to have hips and curves and all the things. And this poem just really speaks to me in that she's embracing all of who she is, and it's just so beautiful, and I just love it so much.
Yes, yes, that
Mhm.
very similar feelings for me.
Yes.
How about you, Dr. Warning?
Well, for me, it has a lot of meaning, and I'll just drop back real quick because the first time I heard the poem, I was working in the Department of Corrections in Connecticut, and the women we did a lot of experiential things, but we used to do plays and different things. And one of the clients, quote unquote, at the time slash inmate, read that poem and actually did a forget the term she used, but she like read it but acted it out
Hmm.
as she did it. So that just really helps bring me back to just how well someone can take a moment or take a poem, written by Maya Angelou like that and make it their own and just really put so much effort into portraying this example of each line that she went through. She just portrayed it as if it was her own. So I guess that's probably the best example for me to say what that means to me. It is an example and a representation of who we are maybe as women and what we
Yes.
represent. And the way and I just it just brings me back to that whole space when she did that poem. I just remember it as if it was yesterday, and it was a lot of years ago, but just it helps us to bring us to a space of just natural beauty and creativity and authenticity. I guess that's
Mhm.
the
Yes.
best word. So
Yes.
yeah, that's
Hmm.
what that means for me. But I love that. That's
Yeah.
just brought back a lot. But thank you.
Good. I hope that's all good memories, of course.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I would say so. A lot of times people may not think that by working, 23 years in the prison setting, but that was my calling. That I believe that it really had a lot of value, and I did uh, really good work there. So
That's
yes.
Mhm.
awesome.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
good.
and I'm sure that women, there are women who needed a presence such as yours there, a positive presence. I when I think about what that poem represents, especially those initial words, it gives me confidence. It gives me confidence, especially when you talk about redefining beauty, because you know it's tough when you're a big girl. I've always been a big girl. I've always been big. So
Me too.
I've never known anything but that. And at some point in my life, I decided that I am beautiful as I am. And yes, like many women, we all want to lose weight or whatever at times, or we feel like, oh, you know what? At this stage in my life, I focus more on my health than I do on my weight per se.
There you go.
But at the same time, everything around us tries to redefine beauty. And I think Maya Angelou was like that plumb line that brought us back. Hey, listen, I don't care about how wide the hips are. I don't care about this, but I am still, a phenomenal woman. And I love that. That's like a reaffirmation that I'm okay. I'm better than okay.
Hmm.
I'm beautiful. So I just think confidence. And I wish um I wish that that could be played and replayed for our younger girls, our young ones coming up.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
yeah, it's important.
Well, with the society that shows young ladies how to shrink instead of how to lift
Mm,
themselves up,
yeah.
Hmm.
it's very hard, and you just wish. Personally, I would sit and listen to. I had a friend of mine that read this, and she did it on stage, and there was a recording of it. So I kept the recording because I was doing a song right after hers, but I kept the recording because I loved to listen to her and just
Hmm.
that poem. It lifted me when I needed it most. And then I got to the point where I didn't just listen to it, I read it. And it sat there in my head while I was quiet and calm. And then when I was happy, I just decided, okay, today I'm reading this one out loud. And
Mhm.
it was the perfect energy at that very moment. And just to have that one thing have so many different emotions attached to it, it's pretty incredible to me. So each excerpt that I've pulled from here, it's pretty much the I say, but each one of those had a different meaning to me. And I was just curious to see, does anybody else?
Yeah.
So here's the second excerpt, and it
Mhm.
is I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. That has a totally different meaning to me than the first excerpt. How
Mhm.
do y'all feel about
Mm,
that? Yeah?
True. True.
yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking that as you were reading it, I was reminding me of how much I love this, and women, and you were saying how women need to hear this more. So I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I need to print it out and put it on my mirror. I need to, and in
Mhm.
fact, I think I need to like print it out and give it to my clients as a reminder for them to put on their mirror.
There you go.
This particular part of the excerpt, I really love the swing of my hips and the movement of my feet, because my husband and I love to dance, and that
There
part
you
of my
go.
life brings me such great joy.
Mhm.
And I love that so much. Like, and immediately just that vision of dancing and celebration, and whether we're in a place of we or me, I dance all the time. And poor boys is like, oh, it's kitchen dance time. Mom's dancing in the kitchen. Um, like I dance, whether I'm sad or happy or whatever. I hear the
Yeah.
music and my body just moves with it, and that just made me really think about that and the joy that it brings me, but also how that also brings me centered. Like I really get centered with that, and so that line just makes me think of all those things all mixed up into one. It's
Mhm.
Right?
so pretty. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's great that you said that, and I'm gonna really hone in on the joy in my feet part, because I think that brings me back to just growing up and being in church and
Mm,
spending time in the atmosphere, because there was a lot of music, there was a lot of celebration, and there was a lot of joy on our feet, because that's what we were doing in church. We were, singing and praising and,
Yeah.
enjoying
Mhm.
ourselves, dancing and, just clapping. So I think that really is a great thing to really take a look at, because how do we bring that part of us into our daily lives? Like, how do we kind of pull that in so that we are in that frame of mind where we got that, where we have that focus? What does that really mean, and how do we portray that to, not only our clients, but our family members, our grandchildren, and just not keep it, for us, okay, this is what we're reading and this is what this poem is about, but how are we able to articulate and pass that on, so that
Mhm.
that way that has meaning, because I think that's a lot of what Maya Angelou and her writings were about. It was about meanings, but it's also a lot about generational things and how are we
Mhm.
going to pass that on. So the joy and the peace. So how do I pass that on to my granddaughter and my grandson, and just something so that, my children, so that way they'll have something to consider and to think about, because that's what we need to really start looking at, because we want
Mhm.
to make an impact no matter what we do. I could go on about it, but that's really
Oh,
meant a lot
please
in that
keep
way.
going.
Mhm.
Brought me
Mhm.
really from that growing up in that lifestyle in church and things like that, and to hear where I am today. So it really does. It has a lot of meaning. So we could take it in a lot of ways, but I think for me, that's really what it brings me back to. It's just the whole church and
mm,
just loving the Lord and just really wanting to just
Mhm.
shout and
yeah.
dance and
Mhm.
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
Yes.
that.
Feel that spirit.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's right.
yeah.
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 Yeah. And then, you made me think, Dr. Warney, about my granddaughter when you said that. Like it hadn't occurred to me until you said that. It's like when we hand the baton to the next generation, what are we handing over? What are
Yes,
we
what are we?
espousing? What are we giving that has a meaning, and you know, handing confidence to the next generation, handing self-awareness and authenticity and all the things that we talk about, what better way than through the form of arts, you know, whether it be poetry or song, music. It's a way that will stay, that will last forever. um and I know, being in middle school and dealing with middle school girls, you know, that gentle 12, 13, 14-year-old age, it's so crucial to to give them that sense of purpose and feeling good about themselves, who they are. And that is key.
It is.
It's not just for us. It
Yes.
is. It's for
Yes.
who's coming behind us. Again, who are
Yes.
we passing the baton to? And Maya was so good. She was the greatest auntie. She
Oh my
just
God.
was to all of us women, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
she used her
Absolutely.
gift. Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Absolutely. All
love it.
right. Well, we can do another excerpt now.
Okay.
All right. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. That one just gets me fired up. You know, it doesn't it you? It just it's like watch me walk with my head held high
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and my
Mm-hmm.
chest out, and just it's like victory. That
Mm-hmm.
one little bitty excerpt is just like victory to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 Or
That.
can you
Mm.
feel that? Seriously, the energy changes so much from those first two. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
this build that just it's almost as if you walk to the door a broken person and walk through it
Mm-hmm.
with nothing but light surrounding you. That's
Mm-hmm.
the feeling I get from that one. How about y'all?
I felt a lot of warrior energy there, like just that. And in fact, as
Mm.
you were reading it, I like felt myself go, "Ooh, okay." I was like, I felt
Mm-hmm.
that energy within me, and it
Mhm.
was like, yes. I mean, my back and my shoulders straight, and my head high, and I'm walking through like all of that. I literally, like as you said it, I was like, yes, I can feel my body moving. And that
Mm-hmm.
warrior, again, that warrior energy that I'm gonna walk through it, like whatever it is, I'm walking through it, the good stuff, the bad stuff, the in between stuff, the boring stuff. I'm gonna hold my head up high, I'm gonna look cute doing it, and I'm gonna like go.
There you
And
go.
I just
Mm-hmm.
love that so much. It's like, ooh, okay,
And
let's
look,
Jackie's
you're
got
doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
love that. Okay.
Mm.
I mean,
That's
you got to, right? You got to look
yes.
doing it.
Well, yeah. In my humble opinion, yes.
and you know it's important, and I'm glad that you brought that up because that just brings me back to my childhood
Mm-hmm.
and what we were always taught as my parents. Sit up straight, walk, a
Hmm.
certain way, keep your posture. A lot of times growing up, you're told these things, and then you go, "But why am I constantly being told that?" But I think a lot of that had, impact on who we are today because as women. And with a lot of what's going on, even, in general in society, a lot of times we can just not even realize, but we may walk and not have ourselves in a posture that's uplifted and walking in a certain way because we're just kind of engaged to really what's going on of all the negativity around us, so we may not even realize that we're taking that on, and then we're even just kind of like having that kind of a posture. So for her
Shrinking.
to say that, I think came from a realm of where a lot of individuals, people of color, we're going through a lot. And so to say
Yes.
that, to have that instilled in our children or, just generations in general, is just something that we just need to take on. I think that's what she was trying to do, is just
Mm-hmm.
pass that on so that no matter what we're doing, what we're going through, how bad things may seem, whatever's going on around us, we have to really just take on that mindset that we're going to, no matter what, persevere through it, but we're going to go through with the posture and keep your head up head up high, and just know that it's going to be better. We're going to get through it, but just
Mhm.
be in that
Absolutely.
mindset mode of just kind of in that slumped over, kind
Absolutely.
of depressed kind of a state. So that's what I take
Absolutely.
from it.
We have one more panelist that's going to join us. Aria is joining the stage. So we're going to welcome her as well.
You go right ahead.
All right.
Hello, ladies. Sorry I'm
Hello.
late.
Okay, it's okay.
Apologize. I'm happy to be here and hear everyone's, input. Really happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes. Can you turn your camera on?
I can. I'm not fully prepared. I apologize. I had something come up with my son's school, so
Oh, okay.
I don't look. It's up to you guys. I don't have the best hair right now.
Um, I've seen your hair. Your hair is beautiful. I want you to do what you're comfortable with. However, we're talking about the topic of phenomenal woman, and we're talking about that confidence. And so,
Mhm.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
so
Well, here I am. Hello.
you
like I
are
said.
fine.
You look great,
This
honey.
is
You look
my
great.
crazy bun. So
You are fine. Introduce yourself to our listeners as well as our other panelists, and you're fine.
hello. I'm Ari. I go by Ari, the vocalist. I'm a singer-songwriter, mother. I'm on a journey of healing and also sharing my mother's story, who just recently transitioned 4 months ago. And my son and I, we know Mama Lions from Arizona. We just moved here a month ago to Florida. So my son and I are very fond of Mama Lions, and so we just happen to connect on a different level now, and I'm just excited to be here.
Oh, well, welcome and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet all of you.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, what so far has happened is that Boss B, our producer, is sharing excerpts from Maya Angelou's Phenomenal Woman poem. And so we're just commenting on sections that she's reading, little excerpts, and just talking about what it means and kind of exploring it from different lenses. So that's kind of where we are. And the last part that you read, can you read that
can
again,
read it.
Bossy?
Yeah, not
Thank
a
you.
problem.
Thank
Okay. The part is I say it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. It's one of the get up and go parts.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I feel like that's kind of sexy. Like that's
Right?
she's just really I'm feeling, I'm feeling good about me. I'm feeling good about how I walk into a room and how I can move the room type thing. And again, it was about the confidence and being and encouraging women. I think encouraging young women, any woman, to just be free in the moment. And I noticed how she always referred to body parts,
Yeah.
the external, and not only that but movement as well. And just again, it's not about how other people see you, it's how do you see yourself, how do you feel. And that is probably the best part of this to me, because so many women, let's face it, can we talk about women and worrying about what other women think
Mhm.
about how they look?
Mhm.
My ex-husband used to say, women get up and get dressed and put on makeup and do all that stuff for other women, not for men. What do you think about that, ultimately? And what is Maya trying to tell us on that one?
Mhm.
It's those things that you need to appreciate. The arch of your back. I have a big butt. Everybody knows that knows me. I do. I don't even know if you're supposed to say that, but I'm saying it. I just do, right? It's been since I was a kid. And I could either like that about myself or really dislike that about myself. And there's so many things about us individually. I hear women criticize themselves, but where and what part of your body, ladies, do you appreciate? I appreciate that about me. I appreciate my rump. I appreciate my hair. I appreciate things about me. But do we sing about it to ourselves? Do we? No. We have to think about it.
Mm.
So I don't know. What do you think? And then, Aria, I want you to check in on that aspect of the poem too, as well. I want to give you that opportunity, what you think it means.
I mean, I think it's just beautiful and confident and loving yourself and romanticizing being with yourself. I think is really a beautiful thing. I think, oh, in society it's been brainwashed into us that we need men and we need a partner and we need somebody. And I don't know, she kind of, it describes loving yourself and not needing someone else to love yourself. So
Mhm.
I think it's a way of expressing, how you feel about your body and being comfortable with your body. That's a big thing. It really
Mhm.
is.
Mhm. Yeah, we can spend a lot of time on just that alone, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, especially from trauma, and for Maya Angelou to say all that and all the trauma she lived through, like for her to still be able to express herself in detail and poetry about her curves and her back, and like
Hmm.
even though she had a tough life, she
Hmm.
went through some stuff, some trauma,
Hmm.
and I think it's really powerful, that she still found a way to be, sensual with herself, but in a classy way.
Hmm. Hmm.
Very nice.
Mm. Yeah, I think you as a songwriter and a singer, and you also write music from within, from your own experiences and where you want to be. You write positive, affirming music
Yeah.
that you probably can relate to that process, that
Yeah, I can.
she went through in creating what, because I think about you and what you do, and I see there's a lot of similarities. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, thankfully in elementary school and a little bit of middle school, I was lucky enough that in my English class, Maya Angelou was someone we studied. So,
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know if it's that way anymore, unless you have a teacher like Mama Lyons that will make sure the students know who she is. But she,
Yeah.
I mean, that woman, I remember watching Poetic Justice, and like I loved how Janet Jackson would read her poetry in that. And, till this day, I can
Hmm.
watch that and it's just a beautiful depiction, like how she was reading it, like,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean, for me, I'm inspired by all the women, the pillars, the strong women that have set the tone, have come before us.
Hmm.
Um, they're really our teachers, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect. As I sit here and I look at this panel and I know each of you, I it's so interesting because there are no accidents. Each of you bring so much um, to support women in one way or the other. And whether Jackie, it be, the fashion and the authentic branding and getting women to feel good. And I have a question, Dr. Warney, for you. When I think about all of the people that you help that are rebuilding their lives, that are, have gone through some things and they're rebuilding their lives and coming back from addiction and things like that, part of it is confidence. That's got to be a big thing. And so I wonder, when you're facing women who have a tough road to climb, how do you address that? How do you pull that piece off, so to speak?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because the key is that I don't address it. They do.
Mhm.
Um, they are. I reduce the power in the room, and the patient and the client is the most important thing in the room. So that's how I operate when we're in session, and then even when we're in the classroom. So I would put it on them and maybe put in a word or two out, but kind of pull from them whatever it is that they may say or share, to kind of bring it back around to let them know they have the answers. They are they have the resolve. They can do this, and so that's usually what I do, and that's really, it's called person centered. Um,
Mm.
it's one of the different models that we use, but the person is the center, and you just help them understand that they have the answers, that is innate within them, but you just help them to be able to draw those things out. So
Mm.
to answer that, that's the best way that I can answer that.
That's
Very
beautiful.
little, very little of me and what I'm doing. I'm orchestrating, I'm moving things around for them, but the most part is that they're there, they're in the room, and they're the most powerful piece there, and I just help them extract what they already have in them. Just help them
Oh, that is good. What is the part that you said that you do? What you reduce?
reduce
Um,
the power in the room.
that is, I've never heard that before. I love that.
Yes. Well, and what that means is that a client counselor, client therapist relationship automatically is like a teacher student relationship.
Hmm.
The most powerful person can be the teacher, because the student is the student. So what we do is we reduce the power, so to let them know that they're the center, that they're
Hmm.
the center of what we're doing, the session, and they're the most important person in the room at all times. And
Hmm.
so by reducing that, and that works very, very well with the indigenous and Native American, especially
Hmm.
in the BIPOC community also, but more so with the tribal community, because of a lot of the generational trauma and
Hmm.
things that have happened. So you want to reduce that, because we don't want to be up here so they feel down here. So
Mm.
we don't want our clients to feel small, because it's automatic. A lot of times with those types of relationships, they walk in the session, the first thing they're thinking, is we're up here and they're down here. So
Mm.
that's one of the strategies that we use. But it's from my heart too. So I call it a
Mhm.
strategy, but then again, it's kind of really not. It's just part of the process.
That's who you are too, and you would build them up either way, and
Yeah.
yeah, because we often hear people say, "Oh, I don't have to, I don't have to shrink to make you feel bigger," or stuff like that. And when I think about that, I do. You're right. People um, tend to. Some people can they're so large that people naturally do shrink in the sense of,
Automatically.
yeah,
Yeah.
automatically. And so you
It's
want to be cognizant of that, and allow them, and like you said, you're hearing what they're saying and you're pulling out what you need. But yeah, that's huge. And as Aria said, with Maya Angelou, she had come from so much, so her writing and what she was doing, I think she was very intentional about what she was putting out, so the art behind it was to get women to feel a certain way, because like Jackie was saying, I see myself when I listen to that. I start thinking about how do I walk in a room, how do I feel, how do I, do I straighten up, do I feel more confident? And so I get it. That's really super cool. Jackie, from your perspective, what is it that you, with what you do, how does this play into what you do? You mentioned earlier giving this to your clients. I like that.
Yes, and I what for sure, for sure. I'm so excited to have that idea.
Hmm.
Um, I was thinking about what you said earlier about your ex was saying that women wear their put on makeup for other women, and I was contemplating that. I was like, how true, how accurate is that for me? Like, I don't
Hmm.
know what it is for all of you, but how accurate is that for me? And
Now
I'm
you're putting yours on for your husband, by the way. But anyway, go ahead.
I yes,
Let
well,
me help you with that.
partly yes, and but you know who I'm putting it on for? It's for me.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not.
All
It's
right.
not. I mean, it's somewhat for. you know, the rooms that I'm walking into, or
Mhm.
you know, for my sweet husband or whatever. And there are times that, you know, makeup is, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to.
Mhm.
But when I do it, it's for me. It's that, ooh, I love this color on me. I love the
Mhm.
shape of my eye. I love that my cheeks look so rosy with, you know, or whatever that is. Or
Mhm.
I get to wear purple lipstick today, or you know, whatever that is. And I just really think that I think I used to maybe do it for other people, like for other women in the room or
Mhm.
whatnot. But today, right now, I can tell you that I put it on for me, that I want to feel good. And so because of that, I want to pick the lip color that I want to wear today and whatnot. But I loved Arya's perspective on that, and your perspective on that whole like sexy with this
Mhm.
particular line, that not just the confidence piece in that, but that sexy feel of this is, you know, the curves. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, I love that perspective as well. And there's confidence in that, right? There's confidence in knowing your own, the strength that you have because you are a woman, and the strength that you have in your hips and your curves, that
Mhm.
has nothing to do with, yes, sexuality, but not sexuality. Like there's
Mhm.
just strength there. The
Mhm.
strength that we hold our children, the strength that we hold our babies, the strength that we, you know, because of our hips and our chests and all of those things. So anyway, that's
Mhm.
something that came back around for me, and
Mhm.
I really appreciate your comments on that, because I was like, ooh, that's kind of a neat place to like think about as well.
Mhm.
So
I agree. All right. Okay, Boss B, what's the next one?
Well, I have one more, and it's
Okay.
saved the best for last. This, of course,
Mhm.
is my very favorite part. And it says, I say, it's the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. It's that last little bit that gets me. The need for my care.
Mm.
You know, somewhere in there you need her, but guess what? She's already there. That's what
Mhm.
it feels like to me. You know,
Mhm.
what do you guys think? You have to sit and soak it up for a second, don't you?
yeah,
You
yeah.
really do, because and that's part of the reason why it's my favorite, because there is so much being said just in those few little lines. And that's why I wanted to do this, because I know my perspective on this whole poem. I've read it billions of times over and over again. And knowing that someone else might feel the same thing, but then not,
Mhm.
that's the really, really exciting part for me. So, my favorite, what do you think?
Mhm. The need for my hands. That part is. I'm not.
The
Who
bend
is
of
she
my hair,
talking
the
to?
palm of my hand. Well,
Who do you think she's talking to?
I think I think she's talking to herself in a way that projects, I guess,
Mhm.
because she's saying, this is the palm of my hand. This is what I did with it. My hair is wavy because I chose that. My
Mhm.
heels click because I wore the heels today that make me stand as tall as I feel, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So to me, it's just the need for my care, and
Mhm.
not just care for outwardly, care for
Mhm.
herself, right? Care
Mhm.
for herself.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. And I think too, she was in a different generation. If I'm not mistaken, she's maybe in my mother's generation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that also she's speaking to women of color in a sense of you have to feel good about who you are in a world where beauty is defined differently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also something that I think our little girls need to always be aware of,
Yeah.
is that what your definition of what the world defines as beautiful and how the world defines beauty is in everything we see. And thank goodness our media is starting to show up differently. We're starting to see more of people that look like everyone representative, and not just one particular look. And I love that, but I definitely think that each generation sort of redefines beauty and redefines what is acceptable or not. And she was speaking in such a broad way that all of us, all generations could relate if you wanted to, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Aria, what do you think?
Oh, Dr. Warner, you were going to say something?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go right ahead, and I'll go after.
Oh, okay. I love that. I love the care part, the need for my care. I mean, because we really do need our own care, and that's something that after moving here, I realized, taking it slow and just trying to take care of myself because I had a little bit of a health scare, and I've just been trying to slow down and just tune into my body. How am I feeling?
Mhm.
And some days like today can be a little hectic and crazy, and things come up and you just handle it the best you can. But at the end of the day, it just comes back to taking care of yourself is so important. And mental, physical, emotional health, I love that. And I love that she's speaking to herself, but everyone else, and it's a universal message. So, um, I love that she empowered every woman that, ever heard of Maya Angelou. It doesn't matter, even though she's a strong, powerful Black woman, African American, but she really brought all cultures together in a
Mm-hmm.
way of just unity in women. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I
Look at there.
agree.
Maya Angelou, 1928, 2014. 86 years old.
Wow.
We got a fact checker in the room. Yay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Warner, what were you going to say?
Yes, I was going to say, because I'm glad you put that up when she was born, to because I think that played a lot into her writings. My mom was born in 1926, so I see a lot of maybe those similarities to what she's talking about. And when we're talking about the palm of her hands, you said she's born in 1928. Well, you're talking not too many years prior, years before. You're talking, the slavery and all these different things that happened,
Mhm.
umpteen years ago, yes, but the generations passed things down, as I said before, to her. So I believe that when she's talking about the palm of her hands, a lot of things happened years ago for people of color with their hands. So even if you're going to attribute it to her era, what happened back then, just think about, it reminds me of just the cotton picking years and the different things that happened that people had to do with their hands. A lot of the cooking and things that they did were done with their hands. It wasn't a lot of utensils and things like that. So I'm just kind of attributing that to the era that she was in, and basically now is how she brought it to maybe where she is now. You can have the world in your hand. You can really achieve a lot, even though we went through what we went through prior with what we had to do the generations before, but now we have better choices. Things are prepared for us in a different way. So things, just take a look at what we have before us. The whole world could be right there at in the palm of your hand. You can just
Mm.
grasp it
Oh,
and hold on to it that way. So you kind of bringing it in from there all the way to where we are now. So that's kind of how I
so
look at it.
good.
That was
So
rich.
good.
Thank you.
That was
That was
so
good.
good. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Love
I
that.
so
agree.
good.
I agree.
Amazing.
I love that.
I was thinking, I love that perspective, especially I love that we know like the time frame now. I mean, we knew that it was around there, but I thought, as I was listening to it in the palm of my hand, like my future, but also like that generations ahead, um, like as a care from a mom, like right now, like I'm just thinking about my hands. Like right now, my hands are holding on to my kids. I'm kind of that. I don't call it the gap generation or the. I'm like in the squish. Like I'm helping my mom, helping my in-laws, helping my kids. I'm squished. But I'm that my hands are not just like helping my kids generation move forward, but I'm also helping my parents and my in-laws like continue their journey forward in a healthy kind of way. And I kind of feel like she's talking like in that sense as well. It's like we're taking the care of my hands. I'm caring for myself. I'm caring for those that are around me, and I'm holding all the hands as we go forward, whatever that looks like. And I just,
Mhm.
but I, yeah, I
It's
love,
timeless. It's
yeah,
really
it is
timeless.
timeless.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Her
Hmm.
writings are so on point for regardless of the time frame. And but the historicalness of it is
Hmm.
makes it even so much more juicy for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I love that she's defining herself in this.
Yes.
And we, I mean, let's face it, and I kind of alluded to this earlier. Do we do that? Do we define ourselves? Do we even think about ourselves in the way in which she describes the phenomenal woman? I mean, all of us on this panel
Mhm.
are phenomenal women, but do we think about it that way? Go.
Not near
Not
enough.
all the time. This is a good reminder, though. Like,
Yeah, right?
because it's like,
Right.
oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we are.
That's right. And isn't that what she wanted?
Mhm.
Here comes the lemonade. She
Absolutely.
wanted women to feel and be phenomenal. And you're so busy being that often you don't stop. And some people, honestly, I think some women don't think about themselves in those terms because in some circles they feel like they're not supposed to. Like you're not supposed, that's being, that's being self-centered or whatever. Um, but I think Maya reminds us of who we are and that we should continue to give ourselves credit for, everyone in this panel is accomplished and is doing great things, helping women, and but we don't think about ourselves like that. We don't stop to pat ourselves on the back. Um, she's redefining it, but it's up to us to continue to do that. It's up to us to continue in every um, no matter what it is we bring to society, whether it be a teacher or a stylist or a therapist or a vocalist, whatever it is. There's so many women out there listening. Isn't it okay to stop and define yourself as being phenomenal? What do you
Absolutely.
guys think?
Absolutely.
I think it's necessary too, because
Mhm.
especially if you have lived through some trauma yourself, like I have, and you in survival mode, you can forget that you survived, and you don't see yourself as a, on the other side of it. Sometimes you just in survival trying to live, you don't see yourself as a phenomenal woman. So you have to come back to realizing, and I just was doing this actually last night, kind of just taking inventory, and because that's what I need to do for my own self-esteem and my own self-worth, is to realize and not beat myself up for mistakes I've made,
Mhm.
to realize it's okay, and I got to forgive myself for whatever happened, because it's done and over with, and all I can do is try to learn from it and do better today. So I feel like this is a beautiful reminder. I'm glad I came on even though I was late, because
Yay.
I needed this today. So thank you.
Oh, that's
Hey,
good. That's good. You were
that,
not late. You were right on time. You got here when you were supposed to be.
that's
Don't worry
right.
about it. You're good. Yeah, that is
Right.
awesome.
Oh, that's
Well,
awesome. I'm so glad to
mhm,
hear that.
yeah.
I think that's twice now I've heard that tonight that we needed this, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I love this.
And all the women who will listen, they're going to also need it when
Yes.
they hear it. It'll be out
Yes.
there,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. And thank you. The lemonade was especially sweet as usual, ma'am. Any
Yeah.
last
I
thoughts on that?
oh,
Yeah,
I
Jackie.
was just thinking that like I don't purposely go through and think, "Oh, I am so great," right? I don't, or that I have that power or whatnot. But I do, and Davina and I talked about this, Mama Lions and I talked about this last week. I think is one of the things that I try really, really hard to instill into my clients, and therefore remind myself on a hopefully consistent basis, is that authenticity and that who we are. That we're not mistakes, that we're it's like how we've been made, created is purposeful, that we are beautifully and wonderfully made, that there is a
Mhm.
purpose and a plan for us, like all of those things. And when I think about all of that, I think that's when I like go, oh yeah, that I'm okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know that we're better than okay, but that's in that thought process. I
Mhm.
think that's where I start thinking about that, and like, oh, I can now hold my head up high and my shoulders back and walk into the room. That
Mhm.
warriorness that we talked about a little bit earlier, but um, so that's where my thought went, is that okay, not necessarily like yay me, but in that, oh, okay, yes, there's purpose and a plan and beauty in who I am and my creation, who I've been created to be, and all of that. So that's where I went kind of with that.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
That was awesome.
Hmm.
Perfect. Absolutely. Anybody else have any final thoughts?
I was gonna say, a lot of my songs that Mama Lions was talking about, that I write to myself, and I've had to reteach myself how to see myself, because in an interview I just did with Mama Lions recently, I talked about my childhood and being bullied and things that I went through, that I saw myself through a lens of other people that were hurtful instead of my own lens.
Mhm.
So now, I'm still to this day reteaching myself how to see myself, being able to look in the mirror and smile in my own reflection and not look away in shame or embarrassment or something, not feeling like I want to look at myself. Now I'm like, wait a minute, no, you're in this body. This is you. Be proud of yourself. Like, there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with, knowing that we have accomplished things, we are worthy. And it's not an ego boost. It's needed. It's necessary. And for resiliency also. And I think
Mhm.
Maya Angelou represents resiliency,
Oh,
in being able
Sure.
to go through the things she went through, survive them, and still
Mhm.
create and transmute those experiences in her writing and make art from it. And that's really what I try to do as well in my life. So
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
Hmm.
I want to put this one up here real quick. I thought that was pretty. I
oh,
Ah, I like that.
like this. Sometimes you have to stop and take a bow.
I
Amen.
love that.
Sisters,
Yeah.
mhm.
I agree. You all
Mhm.
need to take a bow tonight for sure. That
Mhm.
was wonderful conversation. My
Mhm.
goodness. I will be honest. I was excited about this subject because
Mhm.
I mean it's Maya Angelou, right?
Mhm.
And it's Women's History Month. So
Right.
I was excited about this, but even though I thought, okay, this is going to go really good, this went way, way better than I thought. So I just want to say thank you so, so very much for doing this. And if there's anything else you want to say, I'm going to give you a few more minutes. I just wanted to be able to say thank you before we get out of here.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Dr.
if
Warner?
thank you.
No, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having me on as a
Mhm.
guest and just experiencing this with Women's History Month with with everyone, and I'm just grateful to be here, and I just look forward to the future and what's to come. So I just want to say thank you
Absolutely.
again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. This was lovely, and I'm so excited to have gotten to know all of you. Thank you so much for that opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank
Yes,
you.
I know when we do this, I love bringing women on, and then now you meet each other, and it just keeps going. It's all good stuff. Boss B, I want to thank you for the topic tonight. I think it was definitely. I like what Dr. Warney said. It gives me an opportunity to celebrate
Yes.
and to honor Women's History Month. I just one last thing for all of the women listening now and in the future in replays. Think about how phenomenal you are. Think about what you bring to the table every day, how you show up, how you serve, whether it be your families, whether it be your chosen career, but every room you walk in, stand taller, okay? Feel good about who you are and know that you are phenomenal. I think that is key. We have to keep remembering who we are and how we show up and that we matter, right? We absolutely matter as women, and we we carry forth so much. I could go on about that, but we get it. We
Absolutely.
get it.
Absolutely.
So thank you again. Boss B, you brought another one home. Um, we got next month. It's gonna be great. I'm sure
I
as
hope
well.
so. I
It
just
will.
want to leave with the last thought too. And ladies, please, when we're done here, if you would please stick around because we just want to carry this conversation into another thank you because I really do appreciate y'all being here.
Mhm.
Listen, you don't need validation to know your worth. And whether the world sees it yet or not, you carry something powerful simply by existing as you are. So,
Mm.
right now, before we go, I want to ask just one more time, what are the final lines here, lady? What do you think? Should we say it together, all of us? Who are we? We are
Phenomenal
Phenomenal
women.
women.
women. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here and for
Thank
putting up with my
you.
silliness. But
That
all
was
right,
kind of a weak chorus, but it's
it
okay.
was. Hey, you know what?
You're
That's
like,
okay. We got
one,
it.
two,
We're
three,
here.
go.
Phenomenal women.
You're okay.
We know who we are. That's the whole point,
That's right. That's
right?
right.
All
Yes.
right. Thank you, ladies. And thank you to the chat, everybody. I appreciate you so much for being here. Mama Lions and I both are just so grateful for all of your support. And uh, do please get back here on Sundays for Mama Lions, either Voices of Resilience or we have the
The
Coaches
coach's
Corner.
corner coming up as well
Yes.
this
Oh,
Sunday.
it's that
Yes.
one's coming up. I have so many shows. I don't know.
I know.
I'm not even as good as Big Jackie is about talking about all the shows, but I do want to invite you all to Ask a Bee. It's where I just read some stories and we talk about it.
Mhm.
But definitely 3 p.m. Central every day, Monday through Friday. And guys, thank you again. And we're going to call this one a wrap. Good night.
Yay.
Bye bye.